with the nobility of Bearston. All right, so
the original party found out about this thing called the Circle of Seven.
Right.
And we figured out that they were bad. That we did not like them and that they were up to no good. And the original party managed to chew through one or two of the Circle of Seven.
I think we've gotten 2 of them, right?
Well, the original party only did 1 in the catacombs of Bearston, but then the follow-up party did the dragon.
Right.
This is the second follow-up party.
Right. Okay.
And the first was partially by accident in that you weren't targeting the circle to start with, right?
No, we were.
Well, you didn't. Well, yeah.
No, we were targeting him specifically, not as it related to
him specifically because he was out of commission.
Figured it would be a quick kill.
And yeah.
I don't remember that.
But it was specifically, originally it was prevent him from being released because the circle was down to 6 and 1 sleeping, and they were not at their full power.
Oh, I'm sorry. That original. I thought you meant the dragon.
And then faced with the choice of letting the bad guys wake him up or waking him up yourselves and killing him, you chose to kill him. Hi, Jenny.
Hello, everybody.
We just started the recap.
Awesome.
So there's 2 down.
Right. And so rather than amble around and wait for the other 5 to, do bad things, Lenora took it upon herself to recruit a new gang of ne'er-do-wells to go do well for the first time.
Perpetually do wells.
These are like sometimes do wells.
Mostly do wells.
Are we going all the way back to the beginning of this end of the campaign?
We are. We're putting it all in context.
Wait, so we're the gang of ne'er-do-wells? Hey.
Mostly do well.
That remark.
I said mostly do wells.
So, whether or not we are oriented to be attracted towards wells or not, we came to the land of Mormeddan, carrying with us Lenora, who has some family history in the area, Caradwyn, who has a noble family back home that she wants to set up connections for, and a couple of murder hobos.
Right.
I have an important contextual note, which is that on the quest to find the sleeping dead god, outside the town of 7 Mills, at an archaeological dig site, Lenora and her friend Rach cornered a werewolf with a Slavic accent who under questioning was asked specifically who he worked for, which member of the Circle of 7 had sent him, and he named names. He named the Baron di Medani, but he said the name Torwin di Medani, and upon your arrival in Mormeddan, one of the first things that you noticed was not quite right, was that everybody knows that Torwin di Medani has been dead for quite some time.
Got it.
Okay.
Awkward.
Contextual note.
Did we find out what Tormund di Medani's relationship to the current people are?
Yes. Brian is probably best equipped to talk about the family tree of the di Medani clan.
Oh dear. I don't know that I have all that up.
That might not have been an accurate statement. I might have just thrown Brian under the bus instead.
Well, you can, JR, Mr. DM, can you speak from the knowledge that Caradwyn would happily be able to give the rest of the party? Because Although Brian may not currently remember, Caradwin knows.
Maybe. I don't have that spreadsheet up.
So you threw him under the bus because you did not have it.
Entirely correct.
Look, it's a bus. There's a lot of room under there.
Yep.
Plus, my friend Brian's down here.
Buses fall, everyone dies.
So,
Oh, can I just not look? Yeah.
while getting acquainted with the area, doing a side quest for Bubbles,
Bubbles.
we met a local,
Fixer?
yeah, who agreed to get us into the Baron's sons or nephews?
Nephew, I think.
Nephew.
Nephew's wedding using a convoluted array of tricks, which we're currently ensconced in executing. We are trying to secure enough tickets to the ball with the aim of going to the ball being... I don't think we're going to... Are we going there to try and kill somebody? I feel like that's not our goal.
I thought it was an infiltration op.
Yeah, but like infiltrate for what purpose? Just to sort of hang out and say we were there? Are we like tagging it and then going? Or are
Notes.
we planning a listening device? Do we have like a, a rat in a box that is trained to only come when a certain word is said or something?
It might be a good idea to talk to your friends, the dwarves, and see if such a thing could be arranged.
Right.
You're gonna be at
What
the.
are we going there to do?
Well, we need to get closer to the family.
All right.
We
What's
need to
that?
get close. We need to
Yes.
get closer to the family so we can find out which one of them is the vampire.
I think they're all vampires.
Oh.
That's what we're doing there. I'm sorry, I'm not looking.
Well, if they have a lunch and a dinner, we can just figure out who's at one and not the other.
We're trying to figure out who is the member of the Circle of Seven, because we know there's one here, but we don't know who it is.
On account of Torwin being everyone knows he's dead.
Right, but look, you want to take your logic somewhere else?
I don't. A
So
quick note on genealogy.
what if the vampire doesn't come to the wedding?
That would be awkward, but you could at least notice that someone is missing.
No, I mean so let's say I'm Torwin Dimadani.
Yes.
Everybody knows I'm dead.
Yes.
Indeed.
Why would I want to go and spoil that by attending my great-great-grandnephew's wedding?
Because you've
What
been
a-
dead for so long that no one knows what you look like anymore, so you're pretending to be another member of your family.
Good plan.
Okay.
Style.
Like, oh, I'm Torwin Dimadani's great-grandnephew, and oh, I might look a little bit like that portrait in the Great Hall. Isn't that funny? The genes are strong, but actually I just, disappear for 50 years or so and then come back and it's all like, oh yeah, I'm the nephew,
Okay.
I just need a refresher. Are we playing by like Anne Rice vampire rules or like Twilight vampire rules? Like,
Actually,
and maybe.
neither.
Oh,
I don't know that we've
D&D
encountered
vampire
one. No.
rules.
Yeah, monster knowledge checks are a free action.
okay.
That's true. A quick note on genealogy. Torwin Dimadani had a son, Tomas, who had a son, Teodoro, who had a son, Ptolomeo, who had a son, Tobias. Tobias is the current Baron.
Okay.
Oh, I think I said
Okay.
Tobias's grandmother was Countess Dolores de Zither.
Okay.
Zither?
That's right. Who was it looks like either the aunt or the great aunt. I think it looks like the great aunt of the current Countess de Zither, who is on the outs on account of the Mormeddan clan basically strategically marrying into her family and getting all the good claims.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Quick monster knowledge check question: do werewolves and vampires hate each other in D&D?
Not necessarily. They are both more or less intelligent. They are, in fact, both intelligent, so they can make alliances like anyone else would.
Okay.
So if they do hate each other, it's because of something that personally happened,
Right.
and not like a tribal thing.
Right.
Well,
So,
yeah,
they can totally have
exactly.
beef.
Right.
Well, like I was thinking, the Dizizers are mixed up with some werewolves, and if there's like, natural werewolf vampire enmity, that's one thing, but it could just be the Dizizers are mixed up with the werewolves, and as a side note, the Dizizers are also fighting with the vampires.
So, I still, me the player, not Cole. Cole, totally cool with the plan. Me the player thinks it's still somewhat thin to think that the ancient vampire elder is going to want to go. I want to go to the festival, and
Festival?
the King's Festival.
Indeed.
No, I agree. We probably should have a better plan.
Or at least some better idea of why we think the elder is going to show up.
I'm sure we had a reason for that at some point. Did Grandmother Owl tell us something about that?
Well, I mean, if nothing else, this is recon getting close to the family. I mean, this is like the one lead that we have.
True.
So there is one other lead you have.
Is this the black potion stuff?
Okay, so
What's the black potion stuff?
Lenora.
The black potion stuff is the recipe that is by name attributed to my father. That has something to do with being able to raise things. It's a necromantic potion.
Okay.
It was in the catacombs of Ariston, and I don't remember where you guys saw it here.
I don't know if we saw it here, but it was in a book in a library in the previous subgroup where we were going after the dragon.
Okay.
It was mentioned by name in a book there, from which we can. I'm not sure what because what wasn't actually there.
Right. And then other whole side plot was that Grandmother Owl had asked you guys to go get her rubies.
Right. We got the casting rubies.
Right.
And there's the whole thing with the Brogar and the twins whose names were eaten, and we have a quest for their family. And I'm trying to remember what it is. We have a contract.
Yeah, we have to find out the names of the twins.
I don't know if that's a...
Yeah, because these were by the same guy that the person whose name we can't remember. And we traded intent to rediscover their name, dwarves, in return for dragon's gold?
The rings.
The rings.
Oh yeah, the rings are for communication. So maybe that's not a lead for this exactly.
But remember that the twins had their needs.
Right.
The whole reason that the Eater of These was in that catacomb was specifically certain facts from history.
Yes.
Is anybody else hearing an echo?
Yes.
Because I kind of can't understand you, JR. Because of the echo.
Here, let me see if muting me gets rid of the echo.
Do you have two systems in the room?
Nope, but let's give it a shot.
Okay, try talking now, JR.
Can you hear me echoing?
No.
Huh. That's interesting.
I can hear you buzzing, though.
Yep, that's my dad calling me again. 9:30 every night.
Why
would he call you again? Your name is JR.
Don't know, Dad.
Yeah. That echo might be from us because of my camera has the microphone and that's separate from the TV, and it just might not be smart enough to figure out that thing. So I'll mute us for a second and call in from my computer. So we'll use that for talking.
Okay.
Okay. So we were in that tomb. Okay, we were in that tomb to get the rubies from Brogar for Grandmother Owl.
And also to get the treasure for
Bubbles to sell.
Bubbles. Yep.
Yeah.
Priceless artifacts for Bubbles.
Yeah. I didn't know if there was anything there that pointed at this party what we're trying to get into. But it was seeing it as it was a good long side quest, I thought it might be relevant.
Yep.
Oh, and speaking of side quests, there's the whole
Boy, we've done a lot.
the Caradwin's the family that screwed Caradwin's family over. Her sister is in town, and Caradwin followed her, and somebody else was following her, and she followed the person who was following her out of town, and decided to not pursue it too far. But didn't she notice something about him? I forget what it was.
Yes.
So maybe his profession, or...
Oh gosh, I may have to go back and actually review the tapes.
I don't know. I'll look through my notes and see if I have it.
Okay. And then there was also the trip to the Enchanted Spring.
Yes.
Well, we tangled with the werewolves, who it turns out have a promise from the Dizithers to do something.
For weapons,
Their
right?
own weapons, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but wasn't that specifically from the Dizither that's dead?
It was.
I don't think so.
Demel's a Dizither.
Yep.
Wasn't it from
Jarl's a Dizither.
the Countess?
Yep. The Countess de Zither. But it was... A promise would have been with...
Her brother, right?
Darius Dizither?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let me find a good name here.
So yeah, the werewolves were trying to keep people from getting to this spring water because they were promised these weapons.
Right.
Because whatever it is they want to do, whatever attack they're planning, has to be done in human form. And there was a whole thing where we had to negotiate with them about it. And I think what it wound up being is that we got the wares to fall back, but basically us taking the water remaining magical is contingent upon the Dizithers fulfilling their end of the contract. And we went back to town and told them they had to do that. Because basically it's going to turn into regular water if they don't do it. Is my understanding.
That sounds right.
Let's see.
There's a
And
lot
then we
going
were
on in
taking
Mormeddan.
barrels of
There's a
water
lot
off to the
going on in
capital.
Mormeddan. I need to listen to a couple of
What's that?
weeks.
So,
Okay. So festival, vampire.
yeah. So
Festival
with
of
the water
Vampires.
thing, we got like the first 2 tickets to this thing, and we need to get more tickets.
Right.
Right, and then we did the thing about the bear fight.
Yeah. Well, also we're supposed to go see the Collegium at the Baron's house,
I absolutely remember fighting the bear.
which maybe, yeah.
Fighting the bear was awesome.
That kicked ass.
Got to punch a bear. That's important. The Collegium. What are you doing at the Collegium?
Research.
Outstanding. Researching to what?
I don't remember.
The
Definitely something Mildred would have been researched.
were we researching the no name thing and the spells that how to get around it?
I mean, that would be a good idea, wouldn't it?
Seems
Also,
like it-
maybe some vampire detection research.
I don't feel like they've been real subtle. Like, we definitely ran into that chick who was like, yes, I am. Come at me, bro.
I think I'm trying to remember who you're thinking of.
Well, at the very least, we could research, like, cast daylight.
Daylight is like a 3rd or 5th level cleric spell, I think.
Well, I mean, I'm trying not to metagame here. I'm actually, like, listing things that Mildred might have been going to the Collegium to try and research.
Oh.
And
But I mean, like,
lights out.
it's conceivable that Lenora might know about daylight since she's a paladin.
Okay. I mean, it would be good in the land of vampires if one of us had that.
Right.
Maybe it must have been about the name, the Eater of Names, that I was going to research, or more about this necromancer whose book I have.
Yeah, that would have been. Oh yeah, you guys were going to look up his name
Yeah,
because you still remember his name.
because I know his name.
That's the clue that whoever wanted it wiped out couldn't wipe out.
Yeah. Because Mildred don't forget stuff. I mean, Jenny forgets things all the time, but Mildred has not forgotten.
Lenora also has that whole paladin radar thing where, like, twice a day she can just, suss out whether there are any demons nearby. It's like
Detect good and evil.
Yeah, it's like demons, celestials, zombies, monkeys, capybaras.
It's not monkeys.
Capybaras.
It's definitely capybaras. though.
Peacocks.
They go under evil.
Delicious burritos.
What about pangolins?
Pangolins go under capybaras.
So, by the way, I'm just going to throw a quick note in here. There is currently a major inner artery in Philadelphia that has been shut down by 4 escaped peacocks.
By 4 what?
4 escaped peacocks.
See? Evil.
Would that be the Schuylkill Expressway? Did they get out of the zoo?
Yeah, I think it's like Girard Avenue. Yeah.
Oh my God, seriously?
Girard Avenue
Yes.
shut down because of peacocks. That makes perfect sense. Ask your mother how she's doing, honey.
What?
Girard Avenue shut down because of peacocks would be a perfect way to completely alter the expected trajectory of a rush hour commute, clearing the path for Angela to get from point A to point B at 4:30 on a Wednesday afternoon in the rain with no traffic.
That's a good point. That's why it happened.
She did leave at 9 o'clock this morning for like a 9:30 appointment, doctor's appointment in the city.
Morning rush hour.
Well, just past it. But
Yeah.
Still.
Escaped
I
peacocks,
really
you
don't
said.
understand this because, I don't live that far from your mom and I can't get anywhere in half an hour.
I don't understand how these peacocks got out. I feel like someone should have been watching them better.
So
Well, peacocks
Lenora
can be
might
mean.
not know about daylight yet because she won't get it for another 4 levels. So,
I was wondering
Ah,
about that.
yeah.
But I can beat anybody at dominoes.
I can beat anybody at dominoes.
Now I want pizza.
But if we had a cleric with us of the same level, they would totally be able to know about daylight. But since we only have a paladin,
oh, you know what? Actually, sorcerers can learn daylight.
Can
Do
they?
I know any 3rd level spells? Do I have 3rd level spells yet?
I think I have a spell called Moonlight, but I think it
I
only.
took Fireball instead of Daylight.
that's on you, man.
Oh, yeah, I took Fireball. Maybe I should have taken Daylight.
I mean, I think Fireball is going to serve you pretty well.
They're
So-
also vulnerable to fire, right?
I don't know very
Yeah.
many things that aren't.
You'd be amazed how many things that'll kill.
Thanks,
Benny?
Bucky.
I've got a thing you need to see on the subject of
It is of the evocation school, and I happen to specialize in evocation.
Hey,
Do you? That's very evocative of you.
And I have yet to pick any spells from whenever we leveled up because I told JR I would prefer to adventure for them.
Well, you guys
well,
are
we're
headed
going
to
to
the
the
Collegium.
the Collegium of Awesomeness.
Penny. I have a thing you need to see.
Oh, me?
Yeah, the rest of you might want to see it as well.
This implies that I have to figure out how to bring up the chat window in the Google
here, I'll do
Hangouts
this
on the
here.
phone, which is
Wheels
not my
within
forte.
wheels, man.
Screen clear. Application window. This window.
That reminds me, love, I don't remember who I was talking to, but I mentioned something about
Series of increasingly
the
poor
classes of Ben's reading,
brain split in all of our baby classes.
Yeah.
and they were horrified.
Huh.
These are awesome.
Who's horrified?
Can you hear this, Jenny?
It is not on the wizard list.
Darn. I heard something.
Cannons were on the front lines in a very nasty battle. In a desperate attempt to correct that situation, I polymorphed into a noble steed and valiantly ran away. That left a sorcerer, a monk, and a rogue to fight more than 10 guards. It was at that point that the sorcerer took one look at the cluster of enemies flanking our monk and made, let's be honest, the same decision we'd all make. Welcome to this episode of the animated spellbook, Fireball, brought to you by the Deck of Many. When you think of Fireball, I think at least people under 40 imagine the same thing. Wrong. By the way, if you do want to do that, pick up Xanathar's Guide and check out Sunsoul. It's a monk subclass. It's awesome, and you could make Right. You could make Ken. Anyway, D&D Fireballs are actually more like a magical bomb. You pick a point within 150 feet of the caster, and then from that point, there's an explosion of flame which blossoms out 20 feet in every direction. Every creature caught within that 20 feet radius has to make a dex saving throw versus the caster's spell save DC, 18 in this case. The creature takes 8d6 on a failed save, or half that on a successful save. The caster did a cost-benefit analysis. That the guards were in full plate, probably too slow to get out of the way, and the monk, if he failed, would probably die, but, he's both very fast, and he had the evasion feature, which basically meant that if he made the save, he'd get to avoid all of the damage and not even take half. You probably know where this is going. Of course he made the save, he's a monk. All 5 guards got toasted. Fireball is a notoriously powerful spell. Designers have even gone on record and said that it's overpowered as a kind of homage to the spirit of D&D. It's a valuable tool in any caster's toolbox. Oh, and God help you if someone casts Fireball on you at a higher level. Thanks for watching this episode of the Animated Spellbook, sponsored by thedeckofmany.com. They're making...
Yeah. I am the deck of many things.
Well, I mean, I think I chose it because, causing things to blow up real good is very in line with Mildred's character. On the other hand, the Sorcerer spellbook does have daylight in it, so now I'm wondering, metagame-wise, if I shouldn't trade with Ralston here, and you can take Fireball and I'll take daylight, so that we are a lean, mean, vampire-killing machine. On the other hand, I would like to blow something up real good.
Vampires also hate being blown up and dismembered.
Yep. Also stabbed, poked, thumped, pressed underneath falling houses and tornadoes.
I don't understand why it's like, oh, you have to put a stake through their heart to kill them. Because if you put a stake through anybody's heart, it will kill them.
That's right.
I just quoted Buffy to that effect.
That's classic Buffy line, man.
Oh.
Put a stake through anything.
Sure, it actually
step
comes
one.
Not so much from destroying the heart as it is from essentially nailing them into their coffin so that they can't rise again.
So it's really risk mitigation. It's a belt and suspenders approach.
A little bit, yeah.
You cut off their heads, stuff their mouths with garlic.
Put it in the oven for 350.
A very nice bake.
Mine's got raisins in. And black currants.
Don't.
Fine, as long as it hasn't got pomegranate.
Paul doesn't like pomegranate.
JR, just don't bring that potato salad to the barbecue.
I'm not bringing that potato salad.
No one wants your bland-ass potato salad.
I love that.
It probably has raisins in it.
Probably has raisins in it.
And vampire.
Raisins
I'm just
and
gonna note
vampire.
for a second, we had a cookout for Memorial Day this week, and my mom totally brought a Waldorf salad, which is a salad that has both raisins and celery in it.
Aw, that's so cute.
And I
One
was
of the
thinking about
episodes-
this skit the whole time.
One of the episodes of Good Eats that JR got me for on the disc for Mother's Day has the Waldorf salad episode, but they do it as like a game show. Like, do you want to keep going? Are you sure? Lily thinks it's hilarious.
It is hilarious.
I want to know.
I'm very disappointed that there's no yeast episode.
Statler salad. I'm gonna make Chaz make one.
There you
Oh,
go.
there you go. The sad thing is that she had actually asked us if she should bring it, and I said yes because I had mixed up Waldorf salad and ambrosia salad in my head because ambrosia salad is delicious.
Ambrosia salad is
It's
delicious.
got marshmallows and pineapple, and Waldorf salad is apples covered with mayonnaise.
High five, Ralston. Sympathetic high five. Right there.
White people?
Why peepo? That's the problem.
Oh, I really wish I could see the chat screen.
It's okay.
I'm assuming this is being spelled with multiple Y's.
No, it's like the word Y, and then the word P, and the word Po, as in Edgar Allan.
Yeah, with Y's. Never mind.
Anyway, Mormeddan is a big, complicated place. that the DM spent way too long tangling all these plot threads together. Sit down and actually explain all the different things that are going on back to the DM. It makes him sort of sit there and scratch his head and go, who designed this nonsense?
What was I smoking?
Or alternatively, man, you guys are just barking up all the wrong trees.
I feel like this last past fall and winter, though, was complicated.
It was.
For the world. And I feel like that came out in everybody's stuff.
It was a super hard thing.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely willing to get back in it. I think the next thing we've got to figure out. There was a dangling plot hook with. Oh, there was the tiefling kid who wanted you to join the union.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, because it's about to be June, what that means is that I'm about to disappear for several months.
Right.
And we're in Mormeddan, where I kind of feel like there's going to be stuff that Lenora needs to do, and so I feel super bad about that.
It's okay. It's cool.
I also, as we reconfigure and figure out what comes next, have to propose something to the group. I will deal with my my lack of tech in a more timely fashion. We got a lot of irons in the fire right now.
It's okay. I understand. What's your plan?
Well, that's not what's important. I know someone who might like to join us.
Holy mackerel! Who would that be?
I don't know if any of you have ever met Susanna's husband, Josh Ellsworth.
The cop?
Former homicide detective.
That's right, Josh plays D&D. I had totally forgotten about that. And he would also be on Central Time.
He would also be on Central Time. He loves Dungeons and Dragons. He's a completely brilliant person. Again, used to be a homicide detective. He's now a professor of criminal justice preparing for his PhD. And I have been, their children are adorable. By the way, they have 2 boys. That's not relevant per se, but they're my godsons and they're beautiful. And I hope Susanna and Josh stay healthy forever, because I don't know how I would ever explain why I had custody of those little blonde hair, blue eyed cherubs.
Look, if anybody stops you, just take a long look at Chaz and say, somebody lied about who his great-grandparents were.
Oh, that could work. The baby Jack actually does resemble Chaz, that they both have round bowling ball hard heads. And I've been talking with him about like how there have been some stop and go in this game, but it was still sort of the highlight of every week. And then how there was like another game that has little boys in it. So that's like chaos and a totally different thing. And then he said, oh, that's so cool. And he's been saying that's so cool for years. And I was like, Josh, you should play. We play online anyway. You should play, man. And then a few weeks ago, he was like, I went and bought a 5th edition manual. And I was like, good job, Josh. And then he was like, it's really hard to die in this version. I said, yes, I know. I made a character.
5th edition? It's super easy to die in 5th edition. What's he talking about?
It's really super easy.
It's super easy to die.
What I feel like you're telling me is he hasn't played since 2nd edition.
Maybe longer.
2nd edition would be, he would feel right at home with 2nd and 5th. That's where I got my start.
Yeah, I'm hearing this not easy to die, and I'm remembering.
It's very easy to die.
I'm remembering. Let's see, with the game I'm running for Byron and you and Naeem and the boys. How many game sessions have we had where nobody has dropped to 0 hit points?
None.
None.
Not one.
Not one.
Not one time.
Yeah.
Now.
No, you're doing a heck of a job.
All of those sessions haven't included a combat.
At all. The children are not murder hobos, per se.
They're responsible people who want to avoid conflict.
Yeah.
Until they don't and start a race war, which is kind of what we have going on right now.
Look, they didn't start the race war.
And how many?
They're going to finish it.
Look, they didn't start the race war. They just didn't get the message of the clearly hostile person coming up to them saying, hey, back off. And instead going, how you doing? Right back to him.
But they're 10-year-old boys, and social cues are not their strong point.
That's true.
Yeah, backing down from a challenge is sort of like, oh, look, someone's challenging me. I can actually push back here in this safe fantasy realm.
You'd think that would be the case, but that's not actually what they do.
That's not what they do.
No,
Okay.
no. They charmingly smile and act like nothing is wrong.
Wow. Like a salesman approach.
Yeah, like, here, I'm coming up to you. I've got a pulled sword. I'm about to start something with you. And he goes, so, have you heard any secrets about the town that you'd like to tell me?
Ah.
Yeah.
I have a sword. It's not a secret.
Wasn't this an episode of like a murder mystery TV show? It was like the vacuum salesman. Never mind. Just, forget I said that.
No, it's fine. But
They've also run into a room and say, after combat has begun, and yelled, we're just here to talk.
yeah.
In fairness, I feel like that's one our party has absolutely done, and occasionally pulled off.
Yeah, well,
With the ghosts, I think.
we're
I
not
was going to say, I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure we did run into a room and went, wait. Don't kill the things that are already dead. Those are the ones we need.
Yeah.
Everyone else is alive we don't care about. We just need to chat with those things first.
Okay, so we still have to look up what the deal is with the guy that Caradwin followed. Oh, Caradwin followed Brittany back to the Baron's house, and Brittany's bodyguard from that assignment on to see where he was putting his head at night. But he ditched Caradwin, but did it in a way that wasn't subtle enough
That she didn't notice.
that she noticed that she'd been ditched.
Dropped like it was hot.
And then the other thread is that your friend the Bard,
Who has obviously never been brought up on charges in this city.
Ever.
Clearly.
33 arrests and no convictions.
No convictions.
Your friend the Bard has just been offered a gig singing in an underground club for fabulous prizes, which I think is probably a really good place to pick up next week, when I will do my best to either invite David to play D&D with us for one night so he can sing the song, or
Yay.
I will sing the lyrics that David and I co-authored.
Are the
Oh,
prizes for
Not
the,
fabulous? Not.
are the prizes for the performers or the people who have to watch the performance?
I think everybody wins.
You will all be rewarded for your patience in enduring my DMing and singing, but the prizes will be the prizes that are being promised are for the performers.
Do they need
Our prize
backing
is
band
watching.
Afterwards, I'm going to
or dancers?
think about things.
There are some dancers.
Do they need more backing band or dancers?
I don't know if they need backing bands or dancers. I think that your bard friend probably would appreciate some dramatis personae on stage,
They're called doo-wop girls.
right, in the background, acting out the awesome ballad.
And casting fire spells
Shoot da doo.
indoors.
Led da doop.
Bar da doo.
Lenora doesn't really do
Wop?
WAP, but she can be very dramatic.
Yes.
So she's more of the William Shatner style of musicality.
What?
You did not just call Lenora William Shatner.
I
What
totally
do you
Shatnered
mean?
her.
The Baron is dead.
Jim.
Jim.
No. In that
Yeah.
parallel, she would be Jim.
Dead Jim. All right. Well, it's 5 till 10. This is as good a place as any to put on the parking brake.
I'm going to go back and listen to the last game before this game.
And then maybe the thing to do is to.
Why did you write teeth, teeth, teeth?
Don't worry why I wrote teeth, teeth, teeth. Maybe the thing to do is to move as far down the line as we can on Mormeddan while we're in Mormeddan, and then come up with either an alternative plan for the summer games, or Noah, were you the one who was telling me about the hex crawl game style?
Is this the thing where it's like move one thing at a time?
No, this is the old, like, this is a campaign style where you've got the world sort of half built.
The Western Marches.
Yeah.
Yes, that was me.
Where the different parties sort of all start in the same town, and it's okay, well, we're going to go explore the giant hex crawl and find some stuff, and then come back with maps of it and tales of daring do.
Right.
And then the next group of adventurers is going to hear our story, and they're going to go do something. And you can actually have a whole bunch of different balls up in the air depending on who can show up for any given week.
Right. Yeah, I think the constraint there, I think it's normally done with a slightly longer session than the 2 hours that we can normally give to it. So
right.
We can do one and done. So that way they can be sure that whoever shows, also, it's not so the model for Western Marches games, and I'll send out a link to this guy, Matt Colville, talking about it, is basically it puts the onus of organization on the players who are interested in a particular plot thread rather than the DM. So the DM lays out the basic structure of the world, and so it puts you on this border of the unknown, and you have, in a typical West Marches game, 20 or so players.
Wow. Good Lord.
Yeah. And then some subset of the players say, hey, that thing that you vaguely described before, me and my 3 friends here want to go check that out. What night works for you?
Oh, okay.
And so then they all come together, and the people who are interested in that plot thread go and check that thing out, come back, record it in the inn where everybody stays, and now everybody's got a little bit step ahead in the information, and maybe the people who went out on that particular hunt have some cooler stuff because they went out and found that stuff, and they probably didn't explore all the way, because they wanted to get there and come back. So, there might be more loot there for somebody to go back again and check out. And so if you can do one and done sessions, it lends itself well to not everybody having to show up at the same time to play.
Like capsule episode.
Right.
Yep.
Genius.
C-plot.
So let me pull up.
I was thinking more like, a book that's actually a bunch of short stories, but when they put them all together, they also kind of have an overarching narrative.
Okay. And I'll send that to Brad.
Awesome. Well, that is a cool idea. I think it probably needs some finagling for the concept to work with this group. Especially given our the length of our slots. But
I ding. Ellipsis question mark.
But there might be a there.
Okay.
All right. Well, we will try to resume next week, assuming we can get all the heads on back on camera.
I will
Okay.
be here. And no, there shouldn't be anything next week. I will be here.
Will you still be around next week?
And you can come here again.
Oh, that's right. I can come here again. Okay, cool. That solves the next week problem.
Yes.
Or come here.
Okay.
And if I'm running late, it will just be because I'm doing catering shopping. Probably not. I'll just send Chaz by himself.
Okay.
It's getting much better.
Cool. All right. See y'all next week.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye, everybody.
Annyeong.
Annyeong.